Okay, let's talk about something we all think about, even if we don't say it out loud, the fear of death. It's this deep, quiet anxiety that can just pop up out of nowhere. But what if the way we've been taught to think about it is, well, just based on a shaky assumption? Today, we're going to dive into a completely different way to look at life and, its end.
This question, it just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? You know that feeling, right? That sudden, kind of chilling sense that can wash over you on a perfectly normal day. It's a feeling of loss, for sure, but what are we actually afraid of losing?
So, the thinking behind what we're exploring today is that the core of this fear isn't really about some event way off in the future. It's about the idea that the self, the person you feel like you are right here, right now, is just going to be annihilated.
And the whole framework for getting a handle on that fear, it all hinges on spotting and then challenging one single, really powerful assumption that most of us make without even thinking about it, an assumption that might just be the source of the whole problem.
And this is it. This is the big one. The core belief that there's some kind of permanent, unchanging me living inside this body, and its main job is just to keep going. We feel like we're this solid thing, so of course we're scared of that thing disappearing. But what if that feeling isn't the whole story?
So let's push back on that idea a little bit. This next part introduces a really subtle but honestly profound difference. The difference between being a fixed object and simply feeling continuous.
Just look at the language here. On one side, you've got that old idea of a solid self, but on the other, a new way of seeing it. You don't have a fixed self, you have a feeling of continuity. It's kind of like a river, right? It flows, it feels connected from one moment to the next, but it's never the same water twice. That little distinction, it's absolutely everything.
Okay, so to really get our heads around this, the source material gives us this awesome metaphor. Instead of thinking of yourself as some solid object, try thinking of yourself as a container, like a vessel that life just flows through.
And here's the crucial point. Your body, this physical organism, it isn't the you that needs to be protected. It's the receiver. It's the entry point for every single experience, every sight, every sound, every feeling. It's just where everything lands first.
And this flow, it never stops. An experience, say, a kind word from a stranger, it doesn't just sit inside you and die. No way. It lands. It subtly changes your mood, your thoughts, and then it's released right back out into the world in your next action, or the tone of your voice, or a choice you make.
Just let that sink in for a second. Nothing that happens to you is ever truly private. You can't seal it away. The moment an experience is processed, it's already on its way back out, influencing the world around you in ways you can't even imagine.
All right, and this is where it all starts to click. This is probably the most powerful part of this whole idea, because if experiences are constantly flowing through you and out into the world, then the real you isn't what's inside the container, it's the ripples you've already created.
I mean, wow, this is a pretty radical way to think about it, isn't it? It's saying that your identity, the real you, isn't locked up inside your skull. It's distributed. It's out there, living in the way your friend now tells a certain joke, or how your kid handles a problem, or in someone's memory of a conversation that totally changed their day.
Your life isn't just a single point in time. It's this long, unfolding causal chain. It's a series of causes and effects that you started and are still extending every single day. Every action is just another link.
And listen, this isn't about the huge, dramatic, life-changing moments. Actually, the argument here is that the small stuff is often the most powerful. A passing comment, a moment of patience you showed someone, a shared laugh, these are the things that multiply, spreading from person to person.
These tiny experiences are instantly released, and they become part of the fabric of whatever happens next. They take on a life of their own, continuing a chain of events long after you've moved on to the next thing.
So let's put it all together. What actually ends when we die? The container, the physical body that receives new experiences. That process stops. But what lasts? The entire chain of effects you've already put into motion. That stuff is already out there, in the world, totally independent of the container.
Now, it's really important to be realistic here. The therapist who came up with this makes a key distinction. This isn't meant to be some feel-good, warm and fuzzy consolation. The goal is just clarity. It's about swapping out a confused panic for a clear-eyed understanding of the system you're a part of. And once you have that clarity, it allows for one final super powerful shift. It lets us stop asking the old fearful question and start asking a new and maybe more accurate one.
We spend so much energy focused on this question, don't we? We fixate on the end of the container, on the loss. But this whole framework suggests that's totally the wrong place to put our attention.
This is the new question. It reframes our entire existence. It asks us to look at the effects we've already created, the causal chains we've already set in motion, the life that is already living beyond our physical body. It's a shift from thinking about termination to thinking about creation.
So let's end on this thought. This perspective doesn't deny reality. The container ends, but it fundamentally changes what's at stake. If most of what makes you you is already out there in the world, living on in countless ways, then what you truly stand to lose might be so much smaller than you ever imagined.